All right, here we go.
Awesome. I am so glad to be on here with you guys tonight. This is a Zoom where we are going to talk about events, how to contact for events. We're going to do a little bit of contacting for events and why events are such a big deal. And like I mentioned before we started recording, if you've just hopped on here, this can be collaborative. So I'm going to, raise your hand or type in the chat if you've got a script or an idea, or you want to say, hey, unmute myself, or I want to unmute myself so that I can share a little bit. But I want to tell you guys that when I was building in this industry, I had taken a break and left a company, and somebody reached out to me on social media when it was scary to get messages from strangers and told me about a company. And within 30 minutes, I got in a work truck with 2 little kids and drove 11 hours to Kentucky. My truck broke down outside a prison in the middle of the night, and the cops had to come get us, but I was on my way to an opportunity meeting because I knew that I wanted that social proof. I was checking out a company and I knew I wanted that third-party validation, and so I went to that event. And that's because I had been in the industry. So I tell you that part because that is why we don't just push getting guests there because it looks good and fancy in pictures to have a full room. We know what happens when you can get your potentials in the room. It might be their first look. They might go, what, it works? No, I haven't been following you. And it might be their second or third or fourth look. They might be on the fence and they're not sure. And you're still dripping on them and you're still sharing, but they're not ready to commit. And there is something that happens when they're there. I would say the majority of people that are guests at an event are closed because of that event. The event closes them as they're looking around at all these people who said yes. They are realizing that it's something that they want to be a part of. So tonight we're going to talk about some tips. I want you to remember that part of your job, we kind of joke sometimes that this doesn't always feel like a job, but we talk all the time about the power of being intentional in what you're doing and posting and messaging and following up. And I want to just make sure everybody realizes that it would be on my daily 6 list or on my quote unquote, what are the steps to success? We know it's 3 distributors, 4 loyal customers, but I'd want on my steps to success, I'd say part of what I want to complete every month is get a certain number of people to events. And you can see people are starting to post scripts in the chat already. Okay, so we'll take a look at those. So when you view it, like Corey Garrison said on the events panel at conference, as it's your job, view it as something you've got to work to do to get guests. I think some of that is mindset. What I want you to remember too is you're not trying to sell them on it works. You're trying to sell them on the meeting. You're trying to sell them on a night with you, just checking it out. And what I mean by that is sometimes we feel like we've got to give them all the information and you'd be great at this and you're going to love it. And it's 99. You feel like you almost have to tell them everything and get them excited about it works before they go. But really, your job is do whatever it takes within reason to get them to go to that event with you. So one of the things that I would say to people when I was building to get them to an event, I would say, hey, after I knew that they weren't busy, say it was like in 2 nights or something like that, I'd say, I'd love to have you come with me to a cool sip and sample event. I've been so excited for you to see what I'm up to and see if maybe it's something that you'd want to check out for yourself. If you like what you see, great. And if not, no big deal. We're still going to have a ton of fun together. Would you like to do dinner before or after? And so they looked at it as, okay, she just wants me to check it out. And I don't try to downplay how awesome it is, but I don't want to scare them away with all these details about you're going to sign up and you're going to love it. It's like, no, hey, I just want you to check out what I'm doing. I want you to see what I've been posting about and what I'm so excited about. And you can say, because I think this might be right up your alley, or I think this might be something that, excites you. But if it's not, that's okay. I'll let you tell me no when we're done if you're not interested. Because I think sometimes taking that pressure off, because, you got to remember, what are they picturing when it comes to this event? They might be thinking, oh, great, there's going to be guards at the door standing up to sign me up, and they're not going to let me out of there. They're going to strong arm me, because we've all been into stores like that. We've all been around salespeople like that. They don't know that it really is. Just come check it out. let them know they're going to get to come and sniff and sample products for free. And they're going to just get to see what we're about. So some people have really had good luck with inviting their customers. So put that down on your list. You have some loyal customers, because remember, we've got some new products that maybe they haven't tried yet. You know, we may or may not have Keto Go and some of those samples available at the Fit Bar. It kind of depends on the event. But they're going to get some information on them because those slides are in the One Team, One Mission presentation. So it's come check out what we've been up to as a company. I know you already love our wraps and our facials, but I want you to come with me and sample some of the new stuff. I'd love to have you be my guest. Okay, so that's an important one to remember as well. Okay, so a few tips that have been posted before is, you know, y'all know, add some local people on social media and just continue to start some of that interaction. Okay, and that could be a daily thing that you're doing, even when you're not necessarily leading up to an event, but message some local people and start interacting with some locals. Make sure you've created an image for whatever event that you're working on tonight. Okay, some of you are the Toledo event, whoever watches this in the future, you can create your own image. If you're not on the official image of the event that's going around with the leaders that are presenting, you can take a selfie or create your own fun image in WordSwag or another app and say, hey, you know, selfie that says something cool on it about you being there, and start dripping on people on your Facebook. You know, hey, come party with me, come have fun with me. You know, who wants to be my guest? You're kind of warming up your warm market a little bit with that. Don't make it too salesy. You know, you don't need to say, it's only not, you know, don't put a bunch of numbers and all of that. It's more of a fun get together type image that you're going to put there. Let's see, what are some other tips that we have here? You know, there's going to be a free Fit Bar, free samples. I think that's a big thing that gets people there, because they don't know what they don't know, but people do get excited anytime they hear free. I know some people, and this may not be applicable for everyone, but I know some people put together a small little goodie bag for their, you know, guest that comes with them. And it might just be a keto coffee sample and a green sample and a 5-cent little clear bag from, you know, the party store with a bow on it. You know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Think of it just like if you were hosting a fit or a wrap party or whatever at your house or someone's house, and you may offer them something for hosting. The reward is often just as great, if not greater, for them being your guest when they come to the event and they sign up as a distributor. So I kind of keep that in mind too. Do you have something that might be a good sample or a couple things that you could give them as they come along with you? Asking. I want to make sure everyone knows. I know this seems kind of basic, you guys, but making sure you're asking. You know, we love using the voice message feature. I know a lot of you do that already, but picking up the phone, sending a text message and say, hey, I've got a real quick question. Can I call you? And that's obviously probably not for a stranger. That would probably be more for somebody that you know locally, you know, a friend of yours, a family member, or someone that you're just kind of getting to know. Hey, can I call you really quick? I've got something exciting that I want to ask you. Well, of course I would want you to call me if you texted me that. Okay, if any of you text me that, I'm like, oh, I wonder what this exciting thing is that she wants to ask me. So message people that you've blitzed around your neighborhood before. You know, do you guys keep track of your potentials that when you blitz and you get those names on Facebook, if you've put them in a Facebook list, those would be great people to reach back out to. So some of these are memory joggers. Okay, so looking back through your old leads list, looking back through people who were maybe last summer when we had the kits discounted for a while. You know, hey, I know the timing wasn't right before, but there happens to be an event going on, you know, in my area, and I'd love for you just to come check it out and try some free samples. So we've got a lot of stuff in the chat, and for those that are watching this recording, I want to make sure that they get to hear some of these scripts. So I'll read a little bit of what's in here. Okay. Well, let me see if I can find some. Okay. So we've got, hey, so-and-so, I have no idea if you'd be interested, but today at 6, we're going to be doing a totally free event where you can learn more, no pressure, about the It Works business that you can do at home. I will be at, and then say where the event's at. Sometimes when it's a good friend or a family member, you end it with, can I count on you to be there? Can I pick you up? I think that is a huge one, you guys. Have you ever offered to pick them up and made a night of it, a girls' night? Hey, let's stop by, go get some appetizers. We'll swing into the event. It's about an hour. And then we can, catch a movie afterwards, or, maybe not if it's a during the week event, but you can certainly make an evening of it. And I think too, sometimes letting them know, you got to remember, if they're real young, they might, not have any preconceived notions about an opportunity type event because they've never been to one. But if they're a little bit older, we're talking 30s, 40s and beyond, they might remember certain opportunity events where everybody that's there is in business suits and, real fancy. So I think kind of making sure you also toss out there if these are people that you're talking to, not necessarily in a scripted message, but hey, it's totally casual, super fun, come in your jeans, letting them know that it's not this fancy business meeting, and use that based on who you're talking to, if it's appropriate. Okay, so I wanted to personally invite you to come, and I would love to offer you to try a skinny wrap for $20 instead of $25. Okay, that would be if they haven't tried the wrap before. It'd be awesome to see you there. Would you think you'll be able to make it? Okay. Does anybody have a post to use as a status? Okay, if anyone wants to unmute, if you've got that, that would be great.
Aspen,
yes.
In the past, I think the $5 off is great, but in the past, if it gets down to the wire and it's like the day before or the day of and we don't have any guests, myself and my team, we've put it out there, I've got 2 free skinny wraps that are available to anybody that wants to come to a fun party with me tonight. And people are like, what? Free? And I get to go to a party? So that's obviously, not everybody can afford to do that. I don't by any means ever suggest giving stuff away for free. But if it comes down to the day of and you are like, who wants a free wrap? And you never know who's just sitting around being like, why not?
Yep. They've maybe been wanting to try it. And, when you use wrap rewards, I think that's especially genius. They're $6.25, right? 25 divided by 4.
I think it was like $8.50 or something that I counted one time after, tax.
Okay.
Tax,
but after taxes. Okay, that's good to know. So $8, kind of like a hostess gift, because it's similar when they're coming to an event like that. They're essentially kind of hosting, even if they're the only guest that shows up to their party, they're coming to something pretty darn big. Hey, I just started this new business I'm really excited about. It definitely has huge potential, but I really value your opinion and would love to hear what you think about it. Are you free tonight to do a quick meeting with some free samples? So that'd be really good for newbies that are just kind of getting started. And I was talking to a triple diamond today, Kelsey Thornton, and I loved what she said is, she said, treat your newbies like potentials, okay? Did you hear that, guys? Treat your newbies like potentials. That is so important. And as someone on this field development team, I can tell you that is one of the biggest things that blows my mind at every event. And it just happened during a blizzard in Colorado, guys. You don't know how many people come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I am a distributor. I just signed up a month ago, but I didn't even understand that this was it. I am so excited. And remember that, yes, we want potentials there, but if that room, I'll often ask, I think it's a great thing to ask, how many of you, this is your first event? I was just in Seattle yesterday or the day before, and we asked that, and there were well over 20 people that raised their hand. It was their first event, guys. That is just as powerful as the fact that we had a handful of really good brand new guests there, because those 20 distributors that had never been to anything, they understand what this company is about. Because remember, when a lot of these people are signing up through social media or they haven't actually even seen our story from start to finish, most of you probably do a really good job of filling in the gaps, but not everybody does. Not everybody on your team probably knows exactly how to paint the picture of what we've got our hands on. And guys, what good does it do y'all to get a $99 distributor in the door if they never catch the vision? How many of you, raise your hand, have ever been discouraged because somebody paid $99 and never did anything? Has that ever happened to any of you? Hey, I see a few of you nodding. That's like, oh yeah. So just remember that you've got to get your newbies there too. And that's when you check that events calendar and see what is going on in their area and say, just go, it's going to be fun. You can contact the host of an event. So say you guys know people in Phoenix and you're not going to be there this weekend. I'll be there. You can contact the host or the FDR that's going to be there and say, hey, I've got some of my newbies that are going, you know, I'm going to tell them to come up and look for you, or can you look for them? Okay, reaching out to those people, easing your newbie's mind, okay? Real quick, somebody asked what a fit bar is. That's a great question. It's basically a sample bar, okay? So after the One Team One Mission's over, we usually take a 10 or a 15-minute break, and then we typically have been going into about 30 to 45 minutes of Q&A or some training. And so we want our guests to have an opportunity to leave at that point. They don't have to leave. If they're pretty darn interested, they could stay for that. But it's a nice little gap where we can crank up the music a little bit. We've got some keto coffee and some greens at the back. Shake them up, warm them up, put them in little teeny sample cups. You don't use a lot of product. If someone off the field team's there, they usually bring the product. But otherwise they sample it and they get a kind of taste, touch, feel, smell the product. And that really increases just engagement in the whole process. That's awesome. Look at what was also posted in the chat by Kyler. I'm going to a special VIP event this Wednesday and I get to bring a special guest. Want to be a VIP with me? I love that because it shows that they're special. You know, that is a very, very good script. I also like to say things, hey, I'm looking to, or I have the ability to bring 3 guests with me and maybe use Kyler's verbiage to a VIP event on such and such a night. I wanted you to know that I thought of you first. Would you want to be my guest? Saying things like that, even when you're not inviting to an event, but when you're prospecting, you know, I've got XYZ. I wanted you to know I thought of you first. I think that's great. I'm taking a trip to Houston this weekend. Who wants to go with me and learn more about this crazy wrap business? Or who wants to come with me and learn about this crazy fit company that I'm a part of? That's what I posted for the last event, and tons of people wanted to go with me. So that's your answer to your exciting status question. I'm taking a trip to this weekend. Who wants to go with me and learn about this crazy wrap business? Okay, he makes it look fun, or they make it look fun, whichever one of them posted that in there. Okay, these are so, so great. So what else? What else do we have here, guys?
Aspen, I think something great to talk about would be, you know, so you have a guest that comes, and for me, rule of thumb is usually, you know, if I have 5 guests that say yes, I might get 2 that actually show up, so I try to get as many yeses as possible. But when that guest gets in the door, can you maybe walk us through, you know, we've got the fit bar, the music's going. I have personally kind of dwindled our registration time to only 30 minutes, so that it's just kind of like everybody does their thing and gets in and sits down. But can you maybe walk us through from the moment your guest walks in the door to the hotel or wherever you're meeting, what should you do with them before the meeting starts?
No, that's a good question. And I've seen the registration time dwindle too. If we've got a big old event with 500 or 600 people, we're going to need that hour. But you guys that are hosting can definitely dwindle that down a little bit. And I think staying with them and just making them feel comfortable and knowing their color personality is a big one. I know Tiffany Pasek does such an incredible job using that to invite people to events. You know, knowing your reds are going to want to know, hey, I can show you how we're going to make some money together. Your yellows are going to want to come and hear about how much it's going to help people. Your greens are going to want to, you're going to get all the information that you've been asking me about. You know, your blues are going to want to have fun. So kind of know who's with you. Stay by their side, make them feel comfortable. I like to tell people, you know, a little bit about kind of what's going on, what to expect. Yes, Tiffany is amazing. We're getting lots in the chat. You know, what they're going to expect, you know, find a good seat. I wouldn't hang to the back. I'd find a good spot where they're going to be able to see and engage and know what's going on. And, you know, I kind of like them to know the surroundings. You know, the fit bar is going to be back there. And I think most of the time the presentation is going to speak for itself. they're going to see that culture. I know even when I was interviewing for this job, part of what I did was slip into events undercover and just kind of observe the culture. And I think it kind of depends who you've got with you, what that's going to feel like. I think for them, so much of it that's going to be powerful is seeing real people in the room that have had stories. If I know people in the room, if I'm someone like you, Katie, knowing people, I would definitely be introducing them to people like, hey, I want you to meet so-and-so. She's a teacher. This is my friend, Kimberly. She's also a teacher, not necessarily bragging them up and saying, and she's making $14,700 a month. Like, we don't need to do that, but kind of connecting them with like-minded people if they're not the kind of person that would be scared by that. If you got them there because you said, we're just going to sneak in and we're going to go sit off in the corner, no one's going to bombard you. If that's going to make them nervous, then I probably wouldn't throw them to the front of the room. So kind of know their personality. Does anyone else have anything to add to that? Things that that you've done to help your guests feel really comfortable at these events or kind of get involved? Or Katie, did you have anything to add?
I would say, especially if you're not living like 10 minutes from the event, my biggest tip is you're trying to fill your car. So even if I lived an hour and a half away, I can reach out to friends and be like, oh my gosh, I've got this unbelievable VIP event and there's all this free stuff and it's unbelievable. Will you get in a car with me and drive there? It's in Toledo. It's going to be such a fun road trip. Plus I can tell you about blah, 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 blah. And just fill your car. It doesn't matter how far you are from the event. You've got to get people in your car. You'll pick them up. You'll make it fun. If it's 30 minutes, if it's an hour. Guys, I used to get people to drive 3 hours with me that were guests because, heck, you're fun to ride with. And maybe your biggest thing is, I've so got to get to this unbelievable VIP event for my new business that I just started. Would you please drive with me? I hate driving at night and I just need someone to go with me. Pull out all the, whatever you have to, fill your car. And guys, people that show up, they're going to be so excited, but you're also going to have an hour driving home or 30 minutes driving home to be able to talk to them about it, check in with them, and have a plan, because the minute the event ends, you're closing. And don't you dare let someone leave the event or get out of your car without being in the system or on a form. That's your time. Make it work.
Yep. And that's something that some events have done at the Fit Bar. They will even print out some loyal customer agreements. And I know most of y'all do that from your phone, that they'll have LC agreements and DT agreements that they just kind of keep, and they sit back there and it's, hey, let's go meet at the bar. The Fit Bar. Let's go meet in the back at the Fit Bar and let's get you hooked up. You're not going to want to get out of here without getting in this. What do you have to lose? Let's roll. Get them while it's hot and while they're excited. That is huge. And he's absolutely right. Don't be afraid to say to people, hey, I'm going to this VIP event and, a bunch of people are going to be there and I don't want to show up without a guest. Can you do me a favor and be my guest? Okay. I think that works for some people too. I know sometimes we're a little bit more direct, and it's, certain people in my life, I could say, you're going to go to an event with me at some point, because whether or not you're going to do this or not, I want you just to be supportive. So probably should just come with me on Thursday night and get this over with and check it out. Whatever you have to say, you're going to know kind of the best approach. But say, I don't want to go, or my upline or my team challenged me to get 3 guests to this event. Will you help me out to win this challenge? Or in the case of some of the events, like the ones Kyler's going to be at, or if you've got an FDR coming to an event, we travel with presents. Yeah, that's how we roll now. We give gifts. So if you bring the most guests to this Toledo event, Kyler's going to have a gift for you. Okay. And it's exclusive. You're not going to just be able to be like, well, fine, I'm going to go just order it in the E-Suite because I'm mad. No, you don't get it. So you can say, hey, I'm up for a prize. I'm trying to win a challenge here, and I'm looking to get guests. Not only are you going to have a fun night with me driving an hour each way, not only are you going to get to sample some free stuff, you're going to help me, do me a favor. We're going to have a good night. And I think we have to also just have the mindset that people don't hate us. Okay, guys, they don't hate events. It's not like we're saying, okay, could you please come to the doctor with me and let them give you 7 vaccinations and 3 IV? This isn't horrible. People like fun, and It Works people are fun, and events are fun. So we're really doing them a favor by getting them out of the house. There are moms that need a night out. They need to get away from their kids. There are dads that need something to get out and take a look at. There are couples, there are college kids. So we have to also kind of have that mindset of, why wouldn't they want to go with us? Okay. And that's that posture when you're calling it. We don't want to be Eeyore going, well, I know you hate It Works. And I know, no, we're excited. They love it. It's going to be amazing. So finding ways, oh my gosh, this chat is blowing up. I love it.
Aspen, do you mind if I add something super quick?
Add away.
Okay. So I'm super excited because when I invite people, you guys, it's like a 100% success, like sign up every time. One time I brought 4 guests, and 2 of them actually were just invited by me, and then they brought a guest each, and all 4 of them became distributors and customers, changed my business still to this day. But the last time I went, you guys, I brought a girl from France, and I literally said, I just want you to get in the car with me. It's an hour drive, so she had to get to know me. And then we get there, and we're at the one team, and she had no idea what she was walking into, but she literally said to me, you guys are so crazy positive and just kind, and you look like you're having so much fun. I don't understand it. Like, I need to be a part of this because my life is so down right now. And she was just so blown away by the atmosphere. So I just love that. And I want to share that because some people don't think that this is for someone, but when they get in that room, they want to be a part of this because of just how we are as friends. And that was so cool. That's all I wanted to add.
That's awesome. Is that the girl I met in Michigan?
Yes.
Yep. That is so great. And Kim touched on something so very important, you guys. How many times a month do I hear, and how many times in the last several years have you guys heard, I wasn't looking for It Works, but It Works found me, right? I've met 3 people so far in the last year, because I asked this to people. I've met 3 people that said, oh, I was looking for a network marketing company. I was looking. 3 out of, you guys see where this field team goes. The rest of y'all are saying, I wasn't looking for it, it found me. And so knowing that they're not against It Works, but the majority of human beings don't know that this is a viable answer. They don't know that real people actually make money here. They don't know what we know. And that's why I said at the very beginning, don't sell them on It Works before you get them there. You get them to the event. Look at what she just brought the girl there and was like, surprise, it's my company, So she got her there, and this girl is so excited, and she asks a lot of questions, but it's a good thing she got to an event. She's very green. She had a lot of detailed questions, but there is so much power in that because they then turn out like you. It's very, very common. It's the norm. Okay. It's the majority that sign up because of an event. It's actually pretty rare that they're going to say, yeah, it's still not for me. It's a little bit too much fun. Like, you guys are a little too happy. Okay. So they're probably not people you want in your business right this second anyway. If they're not ready, that's okay. They're still going to remember what they saw and what they felt, even if the timing isn't right. So we can't stress that enough, guys. This chat has just been so great. And you're right. Yeah, It Works found so many of you. And even for me, someone who was broken and burned by this industry, you guys, when I walked into that event, I thought, okay, this is not just different. This company is not just, one of those random things popping up on my news feed that's just a little bit different than the rest. I knew that this was right. Just like when I say sometimes when you're looking for a spouse, you're not just looking for different, you're looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right. Okay. Same thing with a company, and they don't know what they don't know until they get there and go, wait a second, this isn't like all that other stuff I'm seeing on Facebook, or this isn't like what I thought it was. I just didn't know. This is right. This feels good. This feels like something I can't say no to. They're usually, guys, I hear it all the time at events. Okay, I got to figure out how to go tell my husband I'm in because I told him I was just doing a friend a favor, but now I can't not do this. Can you hand me one of those applications off the Fitbar? What do I need to do to get it to be a part of it right now? So, and I think especially, guys, with a sense of urgency with this Emerald bonus, there might be some people that you are reaching out to that you bring that bonus up to. Maybe your reds would be a good fit for that. Okay, I'm not saying everyone, but you might say, hey, I'm going to pick you up tomorrow night and I'm going to take you to this awesome, fun VIP thing that we're doing. And I'm going to show you how I can help you make $5,000 in the next 60 days. Okay, or earn a $5,000 bonus. Okay, so, knowing your people is good, but adding those people on Facebook, posting about it on social, not making it look salesy, keeping it fun, being excited, filling your car, picking them up, asking for a favor, all of those things are incredible. And these are really great scripts. We can start if we want to in our triple and above page. We can start a script thread in there if we want to. And y'all, because the people that are watching this later will be like, what was in the chat? What was in the chat? We can start a script thread with some of these messages. And for y'all that are on here that are in maybe the Exploding to Emerald page or the other coaching page from us, we could copy some of that in there if that would help you. Does anyone else have any sort of script or anything you want to put in there, or just a tidbit that you want to add? Because I'm sure you guys need to hop off here and start messaging for the next couple hours. Someone posted in here, Sonora messaged me, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have found it works, and I just signed 2 days ago. Andrea, are you saying you just signed 2 days ago? Welcome to the family, if that's what you're saying.
That's my new girl. She's on my team. Hey, Andrea.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Welcome to our family. I'm so excited. You are in the right place at the right time with the right people, the right products, and the right compensation plan. And I'm not just saying that. That is so great. Michelle says she copied the scripts. That is wonderful, Michelle. Thank you for helping out with that. That is amazing. All right, if no one has anything to add, we need to hop off of here and start messaging, because you guys, the events calendar changes every single day. All right, we have new events. So I hope that y'all can set an alarm in your phone to go off every day at whatever time, or even every other day if every day is a little too much, and go to that, whether it's in your app or on the page, and look. And don't just think about what's by me, think about what's by my people. Okay, and we can close your people for you. You get them there, we're going to close them. They're not leaving without signing, because they're going to want this, just like Andrea signed up 2 days ago. Okay, I love you guys so much. We've got this recorded. We're going to post some scripts in groups. If we forgot anything, we've got groups and we've got places to talk about it. Kyler, you're going to have an amazing event with Katie and Toledo and Tiffany. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And all of y'all that are in other areas that are on this to learn to invite to other events, I'm super, super proud of you. This year is already like record setting in a lot of ways. So you haven't seen anything yet. And I'm so glad that you guys are a part of something really, really big that's happening. So thank you guys for hopping on. I'm going to hop off, and I think we all are too. And I'll see some of you later this week in Arizona at our Latino launch.
Thank you so much, Aspen.
Anytime. Love you guys so much.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.